Ukraine's counteroffensive success. Ukraine has declared a major success in its ongoing counteroffensive, announcing that its forces have decisively breached Russia's initial defensive line near Zaporizhzhia, a strategically significant region in the southern part of the country. This achievement follows closely on the heels of Ukrainian troops recapturing the vital village of Robertina on the Zaporizhzhia front, signifying a series of significant victories for Ukraine's military efforts. The successful breach of this heavily fortified initial defense line represents a significant milestone in Ukraine's counteroffensive strategy and has the potential to disrupt Russia's defensive capabilities in the region. The initial defensive line was characterized by formidable obstacles, including extensive minefields, tank ditches, and the so-called dragon teeth, concrete pyramids designed to impede tank movements. Overcoming these challenges has provided a substantial morale boost to Ukrainian forces. Implications for the Ukrainian counteroffensive. The breach of the initial defensive line is particularly crucial in the context of the southern front, where Ukraine had been expected to concentrate its military efforts. Russian defenses in this area had been fortified extensively, featuring multiple defensive lines. The primary defensive line was often referred to as the Zaporizhzhia line, named after the general responsible for its construction. It had a reputation for being nearly impregnable due to its formidable defenses. Ukrainian intelligence assessments indicate that the subsequent defensive lines may be less heavily fortified than the primary one. Russia had primarily concentrated its resources and efforts on bolstering this main line of defense. While the breakthrough is a significant achievement, it is important to note that the collapse of the entire Russian defense system is not guaranteed. And Ukraine cannot rely on the assumption that it will be able to advance many kilometers forward. Nevertheless, the breach of the initial line is expected to boost the morale of Ukrainian troops and could facilitate a faster advance toward the Azov Sea, complicating Russia's ability to supply its forces in the Kherson region and Crimea through the coastal road along the Azov Sea. Russian drone attacks on Odessa. In addition to the military breakthrough, there have been reports of Russian drone attacks on the strategically important port city of Odessa. These attacks occurred on a Sunday and were aimed at disrupting Ukraine's grain exports. Ukrainian authorities have claimed that they successfully neutralized most of the attacking drones, but 3 drones managed to reach their targets. The targets of these drone attacks were the Danube River ports, which currently serve as Ukraine's primary grain export outlets. Ships departing from these ports sail through the Danube River and enter Romanian waters, reducing their vulnerability to Russian attacks. This export route has been one of the few safe pathways for Ukraine to export its grain, aside from land corridors. However, these land routes lack the capacity of seaports, making the Danube River ports vital for Ukraine's grain exports. The attacks on these ports are part of Russia's broader strategy to impose a comprehensive blockade on Ukraine's grain exports, which would severely impact the country's economy. Although Ukraine has made progress in intercepting hostile drones, its capabilities in this regard have not reached the same level of efficiency as those in the capital, Kiev, where missile or drone attacks rarely succeed. In summary, Ukraine's recent breakthrough in breaching Russia's initial defensive line near Zaporizhzhia is a significant development in its ongoing counteroffensive. This achievement holds the potential to alter the dynamics of the conflict in the southern region, though challenges remain ahead. Additionally, Russian drone attacks on Odessa's key ports underscore the economic dimension of the conflict, as Russia seeks to disrupt Ukraine's grain exports.